Jeff Canu's now iconic comedy film was a huge hit when it was released in July of 1984, eventually grossing 10 times its $6 million budget. The largely improvised script features breakout performances from a number of young actors, including Robert Carradine, Anthony Edwards, Curtis Armstrong, Ted McGinley, and Timothy Busfeld. All of them are positively charming, hilarious, and memorable in their respective roles of various nerddom. Smaller performances from the adult section of the cast features John Goodwin, James Cromwell, and Bernie Casey in fantastic and amusing supporting roles. The loose semblance of a plot follows a group of nerds at Adams College who attempt to gain respect as a new fraternity, raid panties, and defeat the jocks at the annual Greek Games festivities. Littered with plenty of crude jokes, nudity, and swears, this decidedly R-rated adventure is tons of fun for those with a sophomoric sense of humor. One particularly fun scene has our geeky protagonist stealthily sneaking into a female sorority to the appropriate, if stereotypical, sounds of the Mission Impossible theme, with one helpless and attractive girl complaining, "That nerd saw me naked."
Step aside, Mama. I want to see some of that muff.
Have pie. Have pie. Hi. This is going to be a great year.
The generic score by Thomas Newman seems like it was composed by a cheap MIDI keyboard, but the occasional pop tune breathes more life into the picture, especially an inspirational speech backed by Queen's "We Are the Champions." The traditional editing and cinematography doesn't do the film any favors, but it's never boring either, with a few great moments possibly lending itself to a second viewing. Amounting to little more than a series of gags, pranks, and pratfalls, this film stays entertaining without ever impressing, and is perhaps more enjoyable if you connect to the plight of the outcast heroes. The delivery isn't a polished one, but the underlying message of acceptance and tolerance is certainly an important one, and by film's end, you'll likely be rooting for this ragtag group of weirdos to win the day. The briskly paced 90-minute movie is a feel-good romp that rarely takes any chances, but makes up for its flaws and story issues with lovable characters, many of which went on to star in the 3 mostly disappointing sequels, and most recently a reality competition spin-off on TBS. Revenge of the Nerds, juvenile antics with endearing characters. Here's the Rate-O-Matic with my final score, a 6. If you avoid the lackluster sequels, this is a decently fun picture for most college-age guys. But unfortunately, that's all it is. I thought it was a solid good.